Welcome back to Started from the Bottom. I am your host, Susan Peterson. I am here with Kim Ngarupe,
We are back.
season 2. Kim, how was your summer?
It was full. It was busy. I don't know. I always have a hard time letting go of summer, but I do love fall, and I'm ready for fall too.
What do you mean you have a hard time letting go?
It just feels like it goes by so fast, and I like to live things free and fast. I love a schedule and I hate a schedule. So summers are nice for me because I can for 2 months just live a non-schedule, and then at some point I have to send them back.
And you have, what grades do you have this year?
Well, I have 6th, 3rd, and 1st year of preschool.
Oh, no. Is 6th grade in middle school here? I
No.
forget. Okay.
So she's still in elementary this or last year. Then
Next year.
next year.
Oh, my goodness.
You know.
Did you guys go on any fun trips? Did you do anything fun?
Geez, did we? I mean, we did a lot of just stuff around here, swimming, water park stuff. We always go to Snowbird with my family. We did that, but I really don't. I'm trying to think. I don't think we went on any trips. We went to my husband. Oh, this is what our summer included. My husband got into pickleball.
And golf, right?
And golf. That was over Memorial Day weekend. He first started playing pickleball.
I've set up don't worry, you guys. I have set up a nonprofit for Kim at this time in her life, while her husband is now into the 2 most time consuming sports.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long-standing joke with Davis and I because he would always be like, "Oh, I just do not understand people that are into golf. It's so much time, it's so much money. The outfits are stupid." It was just always such a thing. I will never get into golf.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, "I have a tea time at 7." Okay, that sounds fun. I don't know. So yeah, he got into pickleball and golf this summer, and I don't know. I feel like our lives sort of revolved around those a little bit.
Do you play pickleball?
Not like he plays pickleball. He's there every morning for hours, but as a family, we started playing at nights a little bit. And
How can you play for hours? I have another friend whose husband plays for hours every morning as well.
so there are a lot of I mean, I think he's not right now. He's just playing. They go to there's certain parks they meet up at. They winner stays on the court, loser goes to a different court, I think is what's happening. I don't know.
Okay.
But then he also goes and will do drills and practice. So it's not just playing, it's, practicing.
And then when it gets too cold, do they move it inside?
He's really worried about the winter. He's trying to figure out what his solution is. There's a few indoor clubs around here. So who knows? But yeah, I don't think you play outside in the winter.
No, I couldn't imagine.
I mean, I don't do anything in the winter, but
You guys are going to become that couple that now goes to St. George to compete in pickleball tournaments.
we did when he was first playing, we met someone, and I don't know how it came up, but he asked if they played pickleball, and she was like, "I'm from St. George." He was like, "Okay." He didn't understand that meant yeah, of course.
That's all you do down
I guess
there,
it's
right?
a huge thing, yeah.
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 Well, the summer you turned pickleball wife.
Yeah. I did just barely get back from a trip to New York, though. That was really fun.
Yes.
My sister and I went. My parents went for a little bit, too.
Yeah, you went to the U.S. Open, which we are going to talk about.
We'll talk about it in a
You
little
guys,
bit.
we have boyfriends for you, so don't worry.
How was your summer?
Thanks for asking. It was great. We were in New York for a month, the whole month of June, and that was really fun and this magical time that we got with our children. That I think we're now looking at doing a trip next summer.
Yeah.
For a month. So we'll see if that pans out. That should be fun though.
It feels nice to just have an extended amount of time with each other.
Yeah, and you know what was wild is the kids stopped fighting after a week.
Yeah, I feel like I noticed that in trips. My kids fight so much the first few days, and then after a while, it's they just realize, wait, this is all we have?
Yeah, just each other.
Yeah, it's just me and you, so let's just not fight for the rest of it.
Let's get along.
Yeah.
And it was fun to have the kids navigate the subway system, and my oldest got really good. She had a few friends that came in, and in town, and she was picking him up at the airport by herself on the subway.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and dropping him off. So
That's cute.
And when you're like 17, that's like a fun
That
3-hour
feels really
trip.
exciting. Yeah.
When you're 40, you're like, no, thank you.
I know. My sister and I got off the plane and she was like, should we take the subway? And I was like, I'm 37. We're going to get a car. Like,
we're getting an Uber.
I don't do that anymore. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But have you ever taken the subway?
Yeah.
From New York, from JFK?
From JFK, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's hectic.
It's hectic and it's just so annoying with your bags. Like if it was just, I like actually love riding the subway.
Same.
I don't want to have to deal with my bags. I don't want to have to like cart stuff up the stairs. This time I was alone, but before it was like strollers and, you know, all of that stuff. It's just like not worth it to me.
Right. But it's also,
but it's
if
fun.
you have the pass, it's so cheap. Yeah.
So cheap.
And it was fun. We rented an apartment out there and got subway passes, and
she was sending me like places to go. Did I tell you that?
I was?
Well, no, Hattie was.
Oh, Hattie was sending you places to go?
She said for sure go to Empanada Mama. Like she sent me a few that she was like, you have to go here. And I thought that was really cute.
Did you try any?
She had her places. Yeah, there was like the empanada place right by our hotel, so we went there.
It's good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun that Hattie's.
It was cute.
She could have stayed. I bet like she'll probably go out there and do an internship or something because she fell in love with the city. She identified with it. If we were out as a family, she was walking like at least half a block ahead of us, pretending she didn't know who we were. Like, I'm like my own girl.
Like she's just like a girl in New York.
Yeah. Just living in New York. Yeah. And, but Gus, my introvert, was so ready to come home by the end.
Yeah.
I mean, New York is an anonymous place. You're anonymous, but it is a lot.
It's a lot. I love New York. I always have loved it, but it does feel like every time I come back, I get on the plane and I like exhale.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, 5 hours where I just can sit here.
Yeah.
And I don't have to navigate and walk and be aware of like what's going on around me. And like, I can just sit here and relax.
Do you sleep on a plane?
No.
You can't?
No, so I don't, you know how when some people take certain medications, it like does the opposite effect?
Yeah.
I think planes do the opposite for me. Most people feel like soothed or like lulled to sleep. I get like ramped up.
You could have a party.
I could, except I'm just sitting there like shifting around the whole time being like, this is so like, every so often I'll like take something to help me sleep, but like naturally I don't sleep on a plane.
Oh, interesting.
Ever.
I can fall asleep at takeoff.
Like it would be a red eye and I'm like wired.
Oh, I can't do it. Well, I can't do a red eye.
That's why I don't do it anymore.
It's not enough time.
Especially with kids, I like
and
get there.
with the tailwind, like it's not actually a 5-hour flight going there.
We got there going that way 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then you
get there at 3 a.m. and you're like,
or 7 a.m. You're like, what do I do? Please say I can check into my hotel. I'm going to feel the world of hurt right now.
I know.
And then we also did a trip to Washington. We go every summer with
River
Rat
River
Week.
trip.
Yeah. Except now it's a lake trip, but still.
Oh, lake. I mean, lake's just as good.
I know, but it doesn't roll off the tongue like
River Rat.
Yeah. Like Lake Leech trip.
Is it so when you go to the river, is this like a river that you can like do stuff in?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not like the Provo River where it's like,
no,
you just put your toes in.
No. You're like, you can kayak and do all this stuff. Yeah. It started out in the Tri-Cities, which is where I grew up, and it's a huge river. Yeah. And you can boat out there. They have like tons of little lagoons where you can go swimming.
Oh, yeah. Fun.
Now we go up to Spokane, and there's it's going to sound so bougie, but I promise it's not. There's a private lake that my family's been member of for a long time.
It's just like a lake club or something.
Yeah, but I say that, and it's like literally like $100 for the whole summer.
Okay, yeah.
But my cousin now manages it, so she's out there every day, and we go out, and there's no boats there. It's just swimming.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, and the kids love it. I got Chris the dissolving swim trunks. Have you ever seen that on TikTok?
I did. Wait, Ashley Reeves did it, I think.
Did she get, I think they got the matching shirts. Or maybe she did actually in her hot tub
In
at
her
home.
hot tub. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. At home.
I got these at the lake.
I really love this. Was Chris pissed?
Yeah, well.
Or a good sport?
He was a good sport. We just don't prank each other. Like, we're not pranksters.
Yeah, I'm not a prankster either.
And so
But I would like to get a good one.
Right. Well, the thing about pranking is I'm not on top of it a lot of times. Like when I'm with Chris, I just relax. And so if he were to prank me, I think I'd be really upset because
also I fear the retaliation.
That's what I'm saying. Like the retaliation is where I would be upset.
I'm all for pranking someone else, right. But I would just be so like freaked out for the next indeterminate amount of time knowing that like something was coming back to me.
Right. Yeah? Right. Luckily, I think he's forgotten about it, but he got in the water and then he like got on top of this raft and, and the front of his suit just like fell apart.
That's so
and
funny.
He's like, wait, what? He's like, did you buy me dissolving swim trunks? And then he goes, that's so mean. I felt a little bad, but we laughed and then everyone.
But only for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
All in good fun.
It's all in good fun. I wish I would have gotten 2 pairs and then because he was frantic in the water. Like, he's like, I didn't bring another suit. And I'm like, don't worry, I brought you one. And I wish I would have gotten another pair and gave him the other set of dissolving swim trunks.
Just like a revolving door of, here you go.
They're like $17 on Amazon if anyone ever wants to get them.
We'll put the link on Susan's
on my Instagram. It was funny. And I didn't tell anyone that I was doing it because I did, the more people that know about the prank, the more people
like
are
they'll
like,
all
get
be
in the
staring
water.
at him. Yeah. Oh, what's going on with you, Chris?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that was actually the highlight of that trip. No, it was seeing the family and friends. And all that. Yeah.
Your sisters, nieces, nephews.
Mm-hmm. And then my best friend from high school.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. They all live up in Washington. I don't live there anymore.
I need to start being better about having like trips that just like repeat itself.
Yeah.
Like
annualized. Yes.
Yeah, just like we're doing this, we do this every year. This is how it's going. I mean, my family does that with Snowbird, but I don't know. Feels like that might be sort of coming to an end.
It's fun to do with a friend.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't see a lot. Like we don't,
right.
We see her family maybe 3 times a year and the kids have grown up together and they definitely feel like cousins and it's just so fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
And we had Hattie's last year. She's a senior.
I can't believe that.
I know.
I feel like I'm having more of a hard time with it than you are.
I'm having a hard time.
I just feel like there's part of me that just always sees Hattie as like the like funny 10-year-old or 8-year-old that she was, like sneaking chips in her bed or like whatever.
Right.
Like she's not. She's like this fun like literal adult now.
Sending you New York recs.
Sending me recommendations that are good, and it's so fun to be her friend, but also it's like so crazy to think that she's there. Yeah,
I'm devastated. I've talked to a lot of people who say it's really hard.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard for me.
Yeah. I like having her around. She's really cool. And then I have a freshman in high school. So
I know, that's crazy. That is so crazy.
And he's as tall as me as of today.
He's gonna be. I mean,
I don't know. You never know.
He seems tall, but then I guess he's
average.
He's average. He's thin, so it makes him seem taller.
He's skinny, yeah. And he's got broad shoulders.
He has really broad shoulders.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
He every week wants me to measure him on the wall because we have all the height, with a pencil. We keep track.
Someone was telling me there's a way to like accurately predict, but I can't.
I think just it's when they're like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, there's something that you can do when they're like really young, and it is like right like 90% of the time.
Right, like barring if you break a growth plate or something crazy like that. Yeah.
I never did it, but I don't know.
It's kind of a fun surprise.
I know my kids are all have such like different body types. It'll be interesting to see like what I don't know what it ends up being.
Right.
Jane's so tall now, but my sister was tall. If I remember right, my sister was always like tall-ish. Maybe not. She's gonna listen and be like, I was not. But I swear she was like one of the tallest always. But now she's But then
Short.
she just like never kept growing, you know.
Yeah.
She's 5'2", but she was 5'2" at like a young age.
Right. Right. Girls grow so differently than boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. We'll see. So that's where I am. Freshman and senior in high school. Whole new world. You got all your kids in school.
Yeah.
Feel free.
Yeah, I do. Marcus just started last Tuesday. And that's so hard. That's like so fun and he's so ready for it, but it's also so hard. Like it's just me and him at home. There's such an age gap between him and Colette that we're just used to being like buddies together, and he just kind of hangs out with me all the time. He's very independent and pretty easygoing, so I kind of just like take him along everywhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yes, I've been looking so forward to like having 3 hours a day of any, like I can just do my appointments or have some alone time, you know, or whatever. But then also it's like, he's my baby and there's so much like tied up into that. You know? So it was hard. I wasn't home Tuesday. I was flying home. So Davis took him and was sending me all these pictures, and he was like, I was like, how did he do? And he was like, yeah, he went in totally fine. Like the girls went with Davis to drop him off. They were like late to school, and he's like, we had a hard time going. Like all of us were like emotional, being like, you're okay, right? Like, do you need us to stay? And he's like, please leave. Like, but I don't know. Yeah. I feel like we're just always like a little bit more emotional than he needs us to be, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's cute.
That's so fun.
I know.
Okay. You went to the US Open.
I did. Yeah.
Tell us about the boyfriends, Kim.
Oh, you know what? Some of my favorite boyfriends maybe got out before I was there. I didn't see anyone that I was like, I mean, I always love, he's Greek, Stefanos Tsitsipas. He lost before I got there. I always love Matteo Berrettini. I don't know if he lost before I was there, but he wasn't there when I was there. He might be injured. I don't know. But Djokovic is always really fun to watch. I watched him several times. Taylor Fritz. Actually, there were so many Americans that were really good this year.
Oh, fun.
For the first time in a really long time, there were 3 Americans in the quarterfinals. Ben Shelton, who is young, maybe like 18 or 19. He's really, really fun to watch. He has a really fast serve, like so crazy fast. Him and then Francis Tiafoe is really fun and really cute. And Taylor Fritz, who's also very good looking. But he has a really famous influencer girlfriend, and they're like pretty, I think, settled down. Not that that matters.
Since when have you been turned off
I know.
a sports boyfriend?
I know. That doesn't matter
from
to me,
a girlfriend.
I guess, actually.
I think it only just makes him cuter.
Yeah, he's cute. He's got a son. He's really good at tennis and really hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What more could you want?
There's nothing else, I guess.
And the fact that he's taken, easy, done.
I know. And then the American girls also did really good, and Coco Gauff ended up winning yesterday.
I saw that.
Which
That was
was
incredible.
Huge. And she gave this really amazing speech at the end. And I sort of loved it because of course, like when you win, you're trying to be like humble and magnanimous. But there was this one part that she sort of was like, and I want to thank all the people that doubted me, because you just added, like, you thought you were throwing water on my fire, and instead you threw gasoline or
I
something.
saw that quote.
And I was like, oh, yes, I love this. I just feel like there's so many times where it's like women just have to be like grateful for what, you know, and just be like, I'm so glad to be here. And for her, it was like, no, you all doubted me. In fact, like just 2 months ago, you were saying that I was like done. And
Right.
here I am now, you know?
Right.
It's a big deal.
Good job, Coco.
I know.
We love it.
It was also the 50th anniversary of equal pay for women in tennis,
Okay.
which is like a big deal. So that was exciting.
That sounds amazing.
I know. It's fun.
Good job, Coco. Good job, you and your sister being in New York.
Yeah,
you were there for a long time.
Yeah, we were there for almost a week. My parents came like a couple days after us, and my sister and I went to some, my dad and I went to some, and then I went with a friend in New York as well.
Okay.
It's good.
Fun. Is this
Yeah.
going to be the new thing?
It's really fun. Yeah. Even if you're not into tennis, you really would not have to be at all. I would say most people there didn't know much about tennis, but it's such a fun environment. really good foods, like, and then just really exciting things happening all over. And there's like tons of stars everywhere. It's fun. Yeah.
Sporting events in New York are just fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of a rowdier crowd, which is interesting because tennis is normally like sure, people get really excited, but also very quiet and very respectful. New York is different in the fact that like people aren't as quiet. They're not as like, they're more boisterous, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the U.S. Open, it's out by the Mets Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Where the Mets play,
Same,
Citi Field.
Same
Is that
subway
Citi
stop.
Field? Yeah.
Citi Field.
Yeah, we went to a Mets-Yankees game.
Yeah.
While we were there.
Fun.
It was the most fun, actually. Every seat was filled. We were like three rows from the back, and it was a Yankee fan, a Mets fan, a Yankee fan. Like,
totally.
there was no segregation of fans like you usually get.
Yeah.
And it was wild and so fun.
Honestly, that's what I love about sports, really, is like, I'm not a big sports watcher on TV. My husband likes to watch football on TV. He'll watch things. I really don't. I like sports in a live environment because for me, it's about the excitement of seeing what's happening, the excitement of being like the people next to you. Everyone's getting like, you're all cheering for the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what to me feels like
the united
so fun.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would never watch a baseball game on TV. I feel like they're so boring. However, I love a live baseball game.
Yeah, until it gets into like the playoffs, then it's kind of fun. Yeah.
But there's like 1,000 of them. So it's like, I don't know.
No, you definitely have to pick.
Yeah.
You're like, what's the batting order?
Exactly.
Who's pitching? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is probably maybe something you don't know about me, but I'm super into cycling.
Exciting. Oh, I knew this about you.
I've been into the Tour de France since Lance Armstrong was in the Tour de France, which, by the way, they've totally wiped. They don't talk about Lance. Nothing ever comes up about Lance in the Tour de France, but I watch it every July.
Yeah.
And
I remember when we were cycling and watching it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in my basement.
I think that's the only time I've actually watched it was with you.
Yeah, you kind of, it's not something you can just pick up. There's a lot of players, there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of politics going on, but I've watched it pretty consistently for the past, I don't know, however many years. Yeah. And then I took a break because we got rid of our cable, but now it's on Peacock. The last few years have been on Peacock. So if you have Peacock, you can watch it live as it's happening. And so I watched the Tour of France, which was amazing. And then I didn't know about the Vuelta, which is the Tour of Spain, but it's also a grand tour.
I know you were telling me about this yesterday, but I need to know more about it.
Okay, so there's 3 grand tours a year. So cycling starts in like January, February, goes through October. That's the season. There's 3 grand tours. One's in May. It's called the Giro Italia. So it's tour around Italy. July, you have the Tour de France. It's tour around France. And then in September or August, depending, this year was September, you have the Vuelta, which is a tour of Spain. I didn't watch the Giro this year, but cycling is literally like chess. You have a team, and the team makes moves to try to get their GC guy, which is general classification guy, up in the GC. So there's different stages. Some days you have a hilly stage, some day you have a sprint stage.
So you have a person for each type, like someone's good at hills, someone's good
at sprints.
Okay.
Someone's good at what's called pulling, which means you pull the main guy up the hill so he doesn't have to work.
Okay, so that's the person that would be like in front. So the other person, they can like ride their slipstream.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That you have people that are good at the time trial. And then you have, so usually in each team you have what's called a GC guy, 1 or 2. And those are the people that you hope are going to be on the podium at the end of the tour.
So each team is owned by like a sponsorship of some sort probably, or
they're sponsored by, but yeah, sometimes they're owned by a sponsorship. Sometimes they're owned by a wealthy person who gets the sponsors for the team. Yeah. But this year, for the first time ever, Jumbo Visma, which is like the hot team for the past couple of years, have won the Giro and the Tour. And they're right now looking like they're going to win the Vuelta.
They're poised to win.
Yes, and the person who's going to win is an American named Sepp Kuss.
Okay.
From Durango, Colorado.
Ooh.
Really close to us.
Yeah, I've been
He
there.
actually won the Tour of Utah in 2019.
Oh, I've been to the Tour of Utah.
Okay, you probably saw Sepp Kuss ride.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won the Tour of Utah in 2019 and then went over and helped his teammate win the Giro or the Vuelta right after he won the Tour of Utah. But Sepkus is what's called a domestique, meaning you're a worker bee for the team. You're not a fast sprinter. He pulls people up the hill is essentially his job. He's king of the mountain. Yeah. He's always, he doesn't have the king of the mountain jersey, but he's really good in mountains. And he won a stage, and then the next day he took the red jersey. That was on stage 6, and it is stage 15 today. So he's had the jersey for 9 days, and there's only 6 days left. Tomorrow's a race day.
How long is it? How long is the full race?
21 days.
Okay, that's a long time.
It's a long time with 2 rest days.
Okay,
so technically
19 days out of 21.
No. Sorry, in addition to 2 rest days. Okay, so it's 23 days. Yeah.
So 21 cycling days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the guy who won last year, he did what's called cracked, and he lost 27 minutes, which is unheard of. This was 2 days ago, not yesterday, the day before. And he won like the world time trial championship this year. He's like won all these races. He's really young. The cyclists used to be old. Now they're really young.
Okay.
And his name's Remco Evenepoel. And he came back yesterday and got 7 minutes back, which you never do. Everyone's always kind of clustered together.
Yeah.
And cried when he won because he was just like proving to himself that he could come back after cracking. Yeah. And it's just, honestly, like it is such a good investment of your time every day.
Okay, I do like something that I can follow hard.
Yes.
For a short amount of time.
That's
one of the reasons I think I like tennis so much is like I'm so into it for those 2 weeks and then I have a break.
Yeah. You could get into cycling. I think anyone could.
Yeah.
And then, I told my husband I wanted to start cycling. And he's like, Susan, you're going to have to like change your own tire out on the road. And I'm like, no, there's a car with bikes on top.
Yeah, exactly. Someone else is doing that for me.
A domestique. We'll go back to the car and get me some water bottles.
Have your own domestique.
Yes.
How do we get one of those?
He's like, you have to get your own snacks. No, the car is there. Christian will be driving the car.
Exactly.
I'm going to be sponsored.
He'll be in charge of fuel and
bikes.
Yes.
Tires.
Equipment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called a mechanical, and you're going to take care of it, Christian. But if you want to get into cycling, this is a good week. Tomorrow's a rest day.
We need to know who we're watching.
Okay, there's
based
multiple
on looks only.
Boyfriends.
I don't even need to know how good they are.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Do you want only that are in the Vuelta, or do you want in all of cycling?
Okay, let's start Vuelta, and then if there's some honorable mentions.
Okay, something that you need to remember about cycling is that most of the boys weigh under 160 pounds.
I like a skinny guy.
Okay, you like a skinny guy.
I mean, that's the thing. I like all type of men, okay? But I will say there was a time in my life I was very attracted to like the skinny ones.
Okay. So Remco Evenepoel is actually really good looking.
Okay.
He's a little bit of a thicker boy for biking. He's like 5'9",
I mean, they
150.
have to be light, right? They're pulling their own body weight.
Yeah, no, the light ones are actually the ones who do they're the ones who can go over the mountains really fast.
Right.
But Remco's actually, because he's so good at time trial, he's really good at aerodynamics on his bike, and so he can climb mountains with the best of them, even though he's doesn't have the body type. Okay, so Remco is a good one.
Where is he from?
Belgium.
Okay.
And most of these guys are married, have children, even if they're young.
Okay.
Because cycling, I think, takes up so much of your time, and you're always on the go. You don't have time to find a girl.
Okay.
So they're family men too.
Great.
Like I know you like that. Okay.
I love a family man.
So Remco's really good. So in the Tour, Remco, beautiful. Filippo Ganna, he's Italian.
Sounds it.
He's 6'5". Very unusual for a biker, but he's more leans towards sprinting skills, which you have to weigh a lot for sprinting. He just won the world time trial in the track and came second to Remco Evenepoel.
Oh, so do these guys are they doing track like the ones at the Olympics?
Sometimes.
The indoor track.
Sometimes they do both. Yeah, especially if they're sprinters.
I like a crossover.
We love a crossover. And Filippo Ganna, Italian, 23 years old, really cute.
Okay.
He's also the prankster of the peloton.
Oh, that's fun.
So like they have to go and you do like a stage presentation where the whole team,
The peloton is the group, right?
the group of riders. Yeah. It's meant to be like, oh, here's all the riders together. But then when you're on the road, you usually have a breakaway, a peloton, which is a group. The breakaway's out in front. The peloton's a group. And then a gruppetto, which is off the back.
Okay.
And if you're doing like a sprint stage, sometimes the climbers are off the back. And if you're doing like a climbing stage, sometimes the sprinters are off the back. But a lot of times it's like people who are not feeling their best because you're doing like over 100 miles
Right.
every day
So you got to kind of just hang in there
at like
sometimes.
35 miles per hour,
Yeah.
which I don't think on our stationary bikes we ever got there.
Oh, we for sure did. Don't sell us short. We definitely did.
They're fast and they're working hard. And the wild thing about biking is it's kind of, I would say it's on the forefront of sports nutrition because they've figured out, they used to be like, oh, bikers, protein, 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 don't eat any carbs. They eat so many carbs now. Because they figured out that they can just like burn through them really quick.
Right.
And so they have drinks that are not protein shakes, but carb shakes.
Interesting.
I know.
Which is, aren't those like, never mind. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Mean Girls, where she fed her friend
Exactly.
carb
Isn't that what
bars.
it is?
Yeah, I think so. They try to get, like, they have it down to a science where you're trying to get so many carbs per half hour per kilo that you weigh.
Okay.
Like,
Interesting.
they have it down to a science. And that's why they're saying the younger riders are actually doing a lot better because they do have like the energy, but then they're able to keep their energy up.
Yeah.
And what would happen is you would have these old guys who have just kind of old man strength who for like a long distance, they can kind of hang. The endurance is there just because they've lived longer and the young guys would peter out. So back to the race, like the peloton, all that, there's 4 jerseys that you care about. So we'll just go off the Tour de France. There's a Maillot Jaune, which is a yellow jersey.
Okay.
And that means you're the race leader. Then there's King of the Mountain jersey, meaning you go up the mountains the fastest. That's polka dot. Then there is the sprint jersey, which is green. And then there's a youngest rider jersey, which is if you're under 26, because that used to be like, hey, the young riders, they're never going to get a podium, so let's give them this jersey.
Oh, interesting.
The guy who won in 2020 and 2021, Tadej Pogačar, he was 23 and 24 when he won.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so younger riders are a lot better.
I mean, it is interesting that youngest rider or young riders is 26 and under because, like, for most sports, 26 is starting to be old, right?
Except for endurance sports.
Right.
Yeah. Especially
Marathon
for women.
runners.
Yeah, women get better the older they get.
Right.
But now that they're dialing in the nutrition, and look, there probably is some semblance of drugs or something. I don't know. Cycling has always been rife with that.
Yeah, I think sports in general are.
And the times that they're booking are faster than they've ever booked.
Nice.
But I like to think it's just because they dialed in their nutrition.
Also, they're young and spry. They're just fast.
They're young and spry. And think about when you were 26, how fast you could bounce back from something versus now.
Oh my gosh. What it would be like to be 25 again.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Feels good.
anyway, those are some of the guys. Another good one is Wout van Aert. He's also Belgium. He is also like 6'2", 6'3".
Is this primarily a European sport?
Yeah, except, and that's why it's like really cool because it's been a decade since there's been an American leading one of the Grand Tours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. But I think it's cool because I think if we can get, when Lance was into the Tour and winning the Tour, Americans got really into cycling.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really the only cyclist I really know, but everyone knew him.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, and people were like into watching it because of him. Yeah. And you learn more about everything else.
You learn more about it. I never quit. My hyperfixation wouldn't let me. So anyway, if you guys want to follow along with Sepp Kuss winning the Vuelta, this is the week to do it.
Okay. So when does it end?
Next Sunday.
Okay. So a week left.
But there's a rest day tomorrow.
Okay. Pick it up on Tuesday.
And Tuesday. And it usually starts 8:30 Eastern on Peacock.
Okay.
And if you watch it live, you have to watch it with commercials. But if you catch it around 10 or 11 our time,
You can just fast forward.
you can watch it without commercials. It'll just be all the way straight through.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You won't even like pause.
You'll find that you'll see where the commercial breaks come though, like after the break, but then it doesn't.
But then it doesn't.
Doesn't break. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if you have an extra 4 hours a day,
I mean, who doesn't have things they need to do? Like,
don't hate me,
I just
but
like
I watch
having
it
stuff on
when
while
I'm
I'm doing
driving.
stuff.
Do you see this little suction thing? I just stick it on my dash.
Oh, that's smart.
And I watch it while I'm driving. I mean, I don't actually watch it. Hunter, stop.
You're mostly listening.
I'm mostly listening because I know all the players. I know the bikers.
Exactly.
I understand the sport, but it is a good thing to have just in your house. And Sepp Kuss is our guy. That's who we want to win.
We do want him to win.
Sepp Kuss.
So he's from Durango, you said?
Mm-hmm. Well, he lives in Andorra, which is a Spanish town, like high in the mountains there.
In Spain.
Mm-hmm. But he bikes
Originally.
for Jumbo Visma, who if he wins, then they'll be the leaders who were one of them was supposed to win. They're in number 2 and 3, which has never happened either.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no, this is a bellwether. Jumbo Visma, I think, is changing the sport of cycling, and
he's a revolutionary.
And it's happening right here at the Vuelta.
Yeah, we're experiencing this live.
Live, you guys.
Yeah.
And if that won't get you going, that's fine. But I have this dream of volunteering at the Tour de France after my kids are out of the house, and that'll just be my summers.
I like that for you.
Yeah. It can't be that hard, right?
The French countryside?
Yes.
I'll be there.
Come visit.
My sister lived in France for a while. She served a mission in France, and we went to like pick her up afterwards. And part of it, we were in like the French countryside, and I was like, everything just is cuter. Like even we were like at a farm, and like the cows were cuter there than our cows here, and like they rolled their hay in
little
rolls instead of like bales.
Yeah.
Like they just know how to like.
It's intentional living.
It really is.
Yeah. It's fun. The Vuelta, though, is very different than the Tour de France.
Like organization or?
Yeah, no. The Tour de France is like, it feels like a German engineer organized it.
Yeah, I figured that one out.
The Vuelta feels like a drunk guy just woke up and decided that he was going to put on a bike race.
Well, I wonder if that's why the Tour de France is so famous, too, is like.
Well, it was the first one.
And it probably has, so like longer.
Do you know how it was started?
No.
A guy who owned a sports newspaper in France started it because readership was going down.
Oh, and he just wanted to like something exciting to be happening?
To sell more newspapers.
Yeah.
And then it's become like this 120-year-old tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
I know. We're proud of him.
We're into cycling now.
Yeah, we're cycling girlies. Yeah. And don't worry, I'll keep you guys updated next week.
Yeah, we got to know who wins.
Hopefully it's Sepp Kuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be.
If it's not him, it'll be
I shouldn't say that because
someone from Jumbo Visma
will win.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay, wait. That's a question. So the person wins or the team wins?
The person wins, but the team all works together to make it work. But he's a domestique. I don't think you guys understand. Like, unless you're a GC rider, a domestique never wins a race.
Wins.
No, because they don't care. It's not like they're not out for glory.
They're like I don't know. They're not the specialists.
Yeah,
so
they're not the
just
quarterback.
Like kind of whatever. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're like the guy on
they're just like the lineman, a bunch of them.
Yeah, and happy to be a lineman and get just as much respect as like a super domestique as they would the winner.
Okay,
right?
That's interesting. So,
and he never wins.
So he's an underdog too, which we love.
Yeah, and I can't decide because Jumbo Visma is so good at like, well, all bikers are really good at like playing the press. Like in the Tour, this guy we didn't even talk about him. Mathieu van der Poel.
Sounds hot.
Boyfriend material. He's very hot. I'll
Sounds
send
like
you.
He's from the Upper East Side to me, but okay.
He's Dutch.
Okay.
But he won world. But like there was a rumor going around that he was feeling sick. Like the announcers were all saying, "Oh, Mathieu van der Poel is feeling sick." Everyone's saying he's sick. He came out and won the next day, but people thought he was sick.
Ooh.
So there's like all this like stuff going around. You know how boys gossip, and think about boys on a bike for 4 hours.
Yeah.
All they're doing is gossiping.
Do you think are they talking to each other while they're riding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, most of the time. Yeah. Especially if the peloton's going easy.
Yeah, it seems like you would want to have a conversation.
You guys, this is fascinating. You want to get into biking. It is the end of the season.
I'm mentally there.
You're there. Yeah.
I just need to turn on the actual TV and decide. I mean, I can picture it. And
okay.
I think
I'm going to send you some reels tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
You know I like a reel.
Yeah, no, I know you do. But anyway, get on the show. You guys, Peacock, not tomorrow, Tuesday morning. We have no stories to talk through, Kim.
No news stories.
No news stories this week. Should we keep doing that? That's what we need to decide, actually. I mean,
I like it.
Okay.
I feel like we always try and pick stuff that is interesting to us and
relevant
to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep doing it.
We're not good at talking about things we're not interested in.
100%. Thank you for totally talking about cycling with me.
Yeah.
Okay, but we do have two stories we want to talk through.
Okay.
The first one is, did you guys see Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner at Beyonce?
I saw it.
What?
I was so skeptical leading up to it because they're just visually in my mind just so different that I just couldn't imagine it together.
Okay.
But I saw it together and I like it.
Yeah, it's like a totally different vibe for her.
Also, I just think she needs something a little different. I think not that I know anything about him or
Travis.
his personality.
Yeah.
Well, Travis or Timothy,
right.
really. But like, Kylie's proven, I think, that she's serious and a mother and like wants something long-term and something serious. And I hope that by going for something different, maybe that'll happen for her. You know?
I really we talked about this back in Fashion Week in February.
Yeah.
So it's been, I think if it's been going on.
It really was like 6 months of conjecture.
Right. And then it kind of went away for a little bit.
Yeah.
So if it's been going on that long, I do like that for her too. Like the privacy of a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about that so much, just that it would be so hard, especially at like a fledgling relationship, if you're just, everyone's in your business, everyone.
Right. And you hear celebrities now where they're like, it actually wasn't that serious, but the press got a hold of it. Our fans got a hold of it. And
they made it into something.
Yeah.
Which we should talk about after is Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Like the fans are saying they think maybe they're now something.
What? Wait, what?
We can get there in a minute. But,
okay.
I'm
writing that.
I like Kylie. I like Timothy. They were just at the U.S. Open finals
together
a few hours ago. Okay. And they look cute.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to be supportive of everyone. My hot take is always just that I'm supportive.
I mean, I just love anyone that loves each other.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just at the end of the day, two moms hoping everyone finds love.
My poor children.
Okay, wait. Tell me about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Okay. Walk me through.
Do you watch their podcast or listen to it?
Yes, and I saw where he was like, I tried to give Taylor Swift a friendship bracelet.
So he tried, and supposedly she didn't hit him back or anything.
Yeah, he went to the Taylor Swift concert. Yeah, loved it.
In Kansas City.
Yes. And then he made his friendship bracelet that he was trying to give her.
Right. So he's telling his brother on their podcast, like, I was hoping, I like tried to kind of DM her. I was trying to give her this bracelet with my number on it, shoot my shot, basically. And she never responded, or
she didn't come out and say,
she didn't come out and she wasn't interested, or at least he thought she was not interested. Okay. But let me preface this by saying, I don't know how Swifties have the time or even like the thought to like see these things and be like, oh, this means something. Because I just am not creative enough for that. I think I just don't come up with this, but I did see this thing.
I think I could get there. I don't know if you've seen me with cycling.
I believe that you could get there. I think I'm just like not intuitive, or I'm not like,
you're not that obsessed with it.
Well, I am. I would love to be obsessed. I just don't. Maybe I just don't take the time to get into it. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, I've been seeing these TikToks now that are basically like saying there's something going on post. Like she must have heard the interview and maybe, but both of them are being really tight-lipped. People keep asking him about her. He's not saying anything. People keep asking her about him. She's not saying anything. But at one point she was wearing underneath something else, like a Kansas City shirt.
Okay.
And somewhere else she like alluded to his numbers.
I mean, Taylor doesn't do anything on accident.
So that's the
She's
only
an
reason
Easter egg
I'm thinking that it
queen.
could be is that she
Call
is
her-
diabolical.
Yeah, no, call her the Easter Bunny.
Like,
because she is
yes.
dropping those Easter eggs.
I'm not smart enough to do that, but she is.
Also, there's a part of Taylor that might just do it not because they're dating,
Right. It
but
could
just to
be
fuel
fun.
it. Yeah.
So that's what I'm wondering is I don't know, but either way, obsessed with Travis Kelce. Him and his brother on their podcast kill me.
Yes.
There's the first episode of season 2, I think he the brother, which I can not remember his name all of a sudden. Jason brings his wife on.
Okay.
You have to listen to it. It's so funny. She's so cute. And she just kind of like gives him a hard time the whole time. Which is really,
I'm
really
gonna
cute.
listen.
Anyway, but
Do they gang up on him?
yeah, like
Okay.
she and Travis
Travis?
together sort
Yeah.
of like gang up on him. And I loved every minute of it. But I would actually love to see them together. So we'll see. We'll see if they really
Taylor
are.
Swift and
Taylor and Travis.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know how you feel about it?
We're gonna ask Hunter. Hunter, what do you think about Taylor and Travis? Would you ship it? Yeah, he says.
Yeah.
And he's a big time Swiftie.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing is he seems nice and genuine and sweet.
Have
don't
you
know.
seen his dating show?
No.
Dating Kelsey?
No. Do I need to see it? Or will it make me not like him?
I don't think you'll like him as much
okay, I'm
after.
going to pretend like it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I think he's grown up a lot since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah, no, and him and Taylor, that could be cute. She's going to be on tour for like another year and a half.
I know.
How long
I
did
tried
Harry
to get
Styles
tickets
tour
to-
for?
It was almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
For his on.
And then you almost have to never tour again
I know.
or never have to tour again.
I tried to get tickets for the one she released, like the Toronto, Miami,
Yeah.
whatever. I
And?
didn't get selected.
She is going to be in Milan when we're planning on being in Italy.
I know.
next
I
year.
didn't even think of that. Like, it didn't even occur to me that, I could buy tickets
In Europe.
in Europe and go
Yeah.
to Europe.
Yeah.
Would be really fun.
Let's do it. Okay. The other story I think we just skip this week and do next week.
All right.
One thing I did want to mention. So on Wednesday, so you're listening to this on Monday. So Wednesday night, we are doing a live in-studio recording with Meg Livingston of Post Accessories
fun.
and Paige the Shop,
Oh,
her new
that'll be so
viral
fun.
book shop, which is book girly shop, reading girly shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's local. She's amazing. She's so smart. She's so good
really
at branding.
fun.
Really
Yeah.
fun, really funny. So she'll be in studio. We're going to do it 7:30 here in Linden. I'm going to post up a link and we have about 30 tickets. So they're free. Just come and sit in the audience and we'll do a live recording.
You doing it in here?
Uh-huh.
Fun.
Yeah, we did it here last week for another podcast that we produced called Revival and it was so good.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun to chat with Meg. She's fun.
And then by next Sunday, we will have our cadence down. I don't know. I can't decide. Are we going to do 2 or 3 episodes a week now? I don't know.
It's up to you,
I know.
boss lady.
I need to decide. At least 2 this week
Yeah.
and at least 2 next week. Give me a few weeks to get back into it.
Yeah, I mean,
Had a wild
we're barely getting
couple
back
of
into it.
weeks. Yeah. But yeah, we will see you here next Sunday for sure, or next Monday for sure. And on Friday, I think if you're not local and you can't come to the recording, you will hear our episode with Meg.
Oh, you're posting it Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But recording Wednesday.
Wednesday.
All right. Everyone have a good week.
Okay.